Welcome everyone back to The Future is Female. I'm your host, Gabrielle Ducharme, joined here, as always, by my legendary co-host, Nicole Pinter. Nicole, how you doing on this fine Thursday afternoon?
Doing pretty well back here in Illinois still, somewhat unfortunately. Got 8 inches of snow last week, and we're getting more now, basically. Fun.
Love it. It sounds like it's a PJ day for you. It really does.
Very much is.
Very much is. There you go. And then is for the people on radio, you can't see it, but Nicole's decked out in her Michigan blue right now. I'm decked out in my Sun Devil Fitness Complex staff shirt. We love to see it. We really do. And of course, we are two ladies talking sports. We've been doing it for a long time now. We've been doing it basically since we both started college about 2 years ago now. We started this show. And there's one day in particular that we've got to talk about. We would be terrible co-hosts if we didn't start our show off with it yesterday, which was February 3rd, 2021, Wednesday, February 3rd, 2021, was National Girls and Women in Sports Day. Absolute chaos ensued on social media in the very best way possible. Nicole, what were your thoughts on National Girls, Women in Sports Day yesterday?
It was so awesome just seeing the camaraderie with everyone and everyone sharing the hashtag. And actually,
What's wrong?
Forbes, right? That's her last name. Allie, it's Forbes, her last name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just start that part over?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I blinked
No,
on
it's
her
okay.
name.
It's
That's my
okay.
bad.
It's okay. All right. So I'm gonna just bring it back into. Of course, we wouldn't do it justice. Okay. All right. And of course, myself, my fellow co-host Nicole Pinter. We are both two women who have talked sports for about 2 years now together on this exact radio station. So thus, we wouldn't really be great women co-hosts if we didn't talk about the one day of the year that truly means so much for the both of us in our careers as radio personalities, as young women wanting to do sports for a living. Yesterday, June, oh my God. I'm going to start over. Sorry. I keep saying yesterday, but I'm trying to not say that because by tomorrow it's not going to be yesterday anymore. That's like journalism
Yeah, focus on
101.
the Wednesday.
Yeah, the
Focus on the
Wednesday
Wednesday.
piece. Good God, the Wednesday piece. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do it one more time. We're going to get it right. Third time's the charm. Good Lord. And of course, myself, my co-host Nicole Pinter. We're both two women talking sports on a show that has the word female in it. We, as co-hosts of this show, would not do ourselves justice or this entire premise of this show justice unless we talked about National Girls and Women in Sports Day, which occurred on February 3rd of this week. Wednesday was when it happened. Nicole, what were your thoughts when you saw the movement that was National Girls, Women in Sports Day just a few days ago now?
It was really cool to see the camaraderie of everyone on Twitter, primarily is where I saw it. But Allie Forbes actually tweeted out that the hashtag NGWSD, or however you put it, that it was sort of like a cheat code to seeing how many other women are doing such great things in the industry. And it was really cool, again, seeing the camaraderie between people and everyone like sharing their accomplishments and what they hope to do, and everyone rooting them forward. Like that was really cool.
I know it felt like it was like one day where I was genuinely I was checking social media way too much because I just wanted to keep seeing it. It was just so fun to see. It was like the one day ever where like I felt like social media like actually mattered and it actually counted for something and all of that. Like it felt important. It felt like every single piece was adding more to the conversation and keeping the conversation going. And I hope that it lasts more than only one day. I hope that that conversation continues on even past today. And of course, when you were looking at social media yesterday, Nicole, what was like one of your favorite things that you did see? I mean, you saw the Ali Forbes tweet. Did you see anything else that really kind of caught your eye above and beyond like the photos and everything like that, and the tribute videos and all that?
The camaraderie between Blaze, the woman of Blaze Radio, not just in sports, but primarily that was a focus, but and everyone in Blaze Radio sort of amping them up and being behind them for everything. That was really cool. And I was also really touched to even be included in some of those tweets. I was not expecting to. I'm no longer in Cronkite. I know we have this show, but that I was really touched by that too. I was very appreciative of that. But it was just so cool to see everyone on Blaze Radio get behind each other, and everyone sort of roots for each other almost more than themselves sometimes, which is really cool. And that's something you only find at Blaze. This is me singing my praises to Blaze Radio that we are currently on, but it's true.
I love it. I love it. I love it. You took like a more personal approach to that question. And I remember having conversations with people yesterday because I helped to run the Blaze social media. And we were saying, like, what should we do? Like, we don't know. We need to do this day justice, but we don't know what to do. And I think I remember me and Susan Wong literally just said, let's just tweet something. Let's just put something out there. And the rest will kind of take care of itself, because me and Susan had literally been seeing it all day long on social media, which was really, really special to see. It was nice to see that the radio station also took part in the process of that. And my favorite part yesterday was actually it was a photo that I saw on Instagram, and then I saw it again on Twitter. And it was a little girl sitting in front of her television screen looking at rows upon rows of WNBA players. And it was a little girl who she's an African-American young girl. She is the next generation of athlete and just of human. And she now has a league to look towards. She has women in this industry that she can look towards. And it spoke volumes to this idea that you don't have to become a WNBA player in order to see those women as role models and appreciate what they do and understand what they're doing for the next generation. But what it shows is you can kind of chase after your dreams no matter what you look like, no matter what you sound like, no matter what you want to do in the sports industry, whether you want to be on the court or whether you want to be, on the sidelines or in the radio booth, like you and I are doing literally right now. But it was so powerful to see a painting like that with a little girl looking up at Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird and Candace Parker and Courtney Vandersloot and Brittany Griner and so many others who have paved the way for them. Like, those women went to battle over the last, 25 years plus, even beyond that. If you want to go back even further, go back to the days when Mara McHugh was playing in college, when Ann Myers Drysdale was playing in high school and trying to play in college. When you look at something like that, it makes it all the more special. That was one moment that it made me realize how big of a movement National Girls and Women in Sports Day is. And to everybody else, I say, let's not make it one day. Let's make it daily. Every single day, we celebrate the women in our lives who love sports, who want to pursue sports for a passion, for a living, as athletes, as reporters, as broadcasters. Let's do it all together, because the world is going to be a much better place when we become as accepting as we were in our everyday lives, like people were yesterday. That's my spiel, of course, on National Girls and Women in Sports Day. It was a really fun day to be on Twitter. Usually I'm not a fan of Twitter, but yesterday I definitely was. Transitioning, of course, to a week in the league that I was literally just talking about, the WNBA. It has been absolute chaos in the league this week, folks. Free agency started on February 1st. We have seen superstars come and go. We've also seen superstars staying at home, starting with, of course, right here in my backyard in Phoenix, Diana Taurasi re-signing with the Phoenix Mercury to essentially go into her 18th season in the league, I believe. Nicole, what was your reaction when you saw that 38-year-old DT is coming back again?
That's why she's the GOAT. I think that's awesome. Phoenix is her home. It's been her home, 3 titles there, and hopefully she can lead them to another. 38 years old, guys, 38 years old. And it's, Tom Brady's not the only old geezer out here still doing amazing things. Not that that's what Diana Taurasi is. She's amazing. But you understand my point. She's battled some injuries, but she's done it with grace and she's still been amazing. In short, she's the GOAT. Go Mercury.
There you go. She's the GOAT. That's the best 3 words I could use to sum up the fact that DT is coming back again. She's a 3-time WNBA champion. She's a 9-time WNBA All-Star. She's a first ballot Hall of Famer. From the day she retires, it's just going to be a literal countdown clock until they can let her into the Hall of Fame. And the impact that she's had on women's basketball just in general. I mean, I remember growing up watching her play against the LA Sparks and Candace Parker and so many others in the league, but Diana Taurasi always stuck out in my mind. And she continues to. I feel so lucky that she's literally in my backyard with the Phoenix Mercury, and that I get to talk about her on in moments like this when she's just going to continue to make history. So it's going to be really exciting to see what the Mercury can do now. They're going to have Skylar Diggins-Smith back. They're still having Brittany Griner on their team. They still have Diana Taurasi. You know, Brittany earlier today, per a source at Cronkite News, a reporter for the Mercury at Cronkite News, they posted a video or whatever of Brittany Griner talking about the fact that DT's coming back. And Brittany literally said, she's like, you know, we love Diana to death. Like, we're happy that she's coming back. The day that she does leave, it's going to be a really sad day. And luckily that day is not right now. So she signed a multi-year deal. I believe it's about a 2-year deal. So we'll see. Maybe she'll be turning 40 and playing in a WNBA basketball game. Transitioning, of course, from one player who stayed with her team she's been with her entire career to another player who jumped ship. Candace Parker is going from my hometown, LA Sparks, to Nicole's hometown, Chicago Sky. Nicole, what was your reaction when you saw you were getting a superstar WNBA champion Candace Parker?
Yes. Yes. The Chicago Sky team in the bubble was sort of on the brink of greatness. They couldn't just quite get there. Oh my gosh. Her, Allie Quigley, Diamond DeShields, like, the Chicago Sky team's got it. They got it now. It's here. The future is now. Go Sky.
Nicole, you say that the future, of course, is now for the Chicago Sky. And I just want to take a second to reflect back on the Candace Parker that I grew up with, because I grew up watching a player who changed the game of basketball for me, who I was that little girl sitting at my television when I was 11 and 12 and 13 years old with a Sparks t-shirt on, and I was watching the television and I would see her dominating on the basketball court. And I'd pray about the day that I could be 6'4". I'd pray about the day that I could run, everybody out of the gymnasium, that I could outrun everyone. I prayed for it and I wished for it. And but when I always looked at Candace Parker, I didn't just see my basketball dreams coming true. I saw my ultimate dreams coming true of being able to work in a league that stands for something that gave me so much. I always wanted to give something back to it. And even though Candace Parker is no longer on that team that I grew up watching, I'm now working for that team in the WNBA and stuff. I'm working virtually for them this semester. And so for something like that to come full circle, despite that, that she decided to go back home, I'm never going to forget the impact that an athlete like that had on my young life. As somebody who grew up loving the sport so very much, I admired her immensely, and I'm going to continue admiring her as an athlete immensely just because of what she did for the game. But the idea of how dominant the Sky could be now, it's a scary sight. It's a really scary sight. I could so easily see them play against the Las Vegas Aces in the WNBA finals, or the Seattle Storm. And I would pay to see that 20 times over. I still think the Sparks are going to compete pretty well, despite that they have lost Candace Parker. But the amount of coverage as well that the league got in the last several days since free agency has broken, it's just been immense. I don't think I've seen the league get this much coverage in a while. And it's been absolutely incredible to watch it all unfold. So I think we're really lucky. We're entering a very golden era of WNBA basketball, and I am so excited to watch it unfold. And I'm gonna be excited to watch what happens with Candace Parker, no matter what situation that we're in. So super exciting, of course, to watch WNBA basketball absolutely dominate the news cycle at this time, especially on National Girls and Women in Sports Day. But transitioning from the pros to the college level, a lot of questions still with this one, but EA Sports is announcing that they're bringing back a really big video game. Nicole, break it down for us. What's going on?
Well, EA Sports made the somewhat surprising and absolutely elating announcement that they are returning to college football video games. Something to note was that NCAA was completely left out of it, which they don't need. They don't need the NCAA at all. But past games were NCAA football 14 and so forth backwards. It's just EA Sports college football. But as of right now, what we know now, game is still in early development. It probably will be like 2022, late 2022, 2023 at the absolute earliest this game comes out. I would look more towards like summer of 2023 if everything goes well and smoothly. Over 100 FBS schools so far, hopefully FCS, but no specific word on that. No player likeness or image for now. But again, like I said, a few years before the game releases, meaning that players could end up making money off their image and likeness. And obviously, he won't be in the game at this point. But for example, you could be playing with Trevor Lawrence as not just QB16. It would say Lawrence on the back. It have his license, image, and likeness, and he get paid for it. It's really cool. I was really excited. Whatever reservations you may have about Madden, keep in mind. I'll put my thoughts on the surf first. Madden 25, that came out the 2014 version came out the same year as NCAA 14. NCAA 14 was absolutely on the right track. Had a few bugs, glitches. I think 13 actually still is better gameplay, but 14 was absolutely on the right track. And it came out the same year as probably the last decent Madden game to exist currently, but also the year an absolutely, I have both games. The same year an incredibly glitchy game came out. So they were coming at Madden's downfall was at the same time as NCAA football's rise. So I still have hope. I'm excited. Of course, I'm going to buy it regardless. I might even end up buying Madden anyway whenever I get a PS5. But I'm really excited, as you can tell.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned being so excited about it. It feels like it's really truly ushering in a new era of college sports, like just in general, because I don't think they would be able to bring this game back if it weren't for the fact that players are going to start to be able to make money off of their image and likeness. Like if that conversation hadn't happened over a year ago, I don't think we'd be having this conversation right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think a lot of the lawsuits, like forgetting the states, I actually think New York just put one through, or Connecticut. It was some Northeast state where players can start getting paid for their image and likeness. California was the first to do it. It's starting to happen more and more.
Right.
And that's, as you said, that's this conversation and states doing something about it. Rare, but they're doing something about something. I'll take that, I guess. Is the reason this is back. I think you're right. I think you're right in saying that.
I mean, talking about like video games and stuff like that I wish could come back. Like this game obviously came back. It makes me want to have like Mario Kart back. I did get, you can't see it on the radio, but I did get a Nintendo Switch. So I do have Animal Crossing back. My mom got it for me. So I do have Animal Crossing back, and I want Mario Kart back too on like the GameCube with the little controllers and stuff. I didn't really grow up playing the college sports games, but I did grow up playing like Animal Crossing and Mario Kart. So like I have one of them back. I'd love the other one back too. I don't know, Nicole, what's like one game that you wish you could have back?
GameCube's a good one. GameCube is goated, undefeated. I'm gonna keep it with sports. Actually, I would take a rebooted Lego Star Wars The Complete Series, but we're getting that. The Complete Saga, excuse me. We're getting that. So I'm between NFL Street which is exactly what it sounds, street version of NFL. That game was amazing. It was so much fun to play.
Street. Oh my gosh.
Or NFL 2K5. If they could just update the graphics, maybe the players, that's all I would need. I actually just got the game like last year, I guess, and it's so good. I missed it so much. It's still the best football game ever. And I even have hesitations about this one, but I don't care. I'm still buying it. Absolutely between NFL Street, NFL 2K5, or if they could just update the graphics of Star Wars Battlefront 2, the old one from 05, I'd be golden. That's all I need.
That's honestly what I find most shocking about like the sports video games, like NBA 2K, NFL Madden, like stuff like that. Just how realistic the players look now. Oh my gosh, it's like scary. It's really
simulation
scary.
football game only Sorry, I'm making fun of Madden. Really I'll make fun of Madden the same way I make fun of the NCAA, and you will never hear the end of it from me.
It's Gabby, really scary though.
Sorry. Which Sun Devil? This was a poll I posted on our Twitter account. Didn't get a lot of answers, but it was primarily Jaden Daniels, which I'm surprised. No one said other. Well, I'm not surprised about Jaden Daniels. Obviously, he'd be fun to play with. No love for Eno Benjamin, and N'Keal Harry wasn't too far behind. Gabby, which Sun Devil from 2014 to present, I know we were in college for most of that time, would you want to most play as? Or even just from this year, if you want to go that route?
If I could play as someone from that poll, I'd want to play as N'Keal Harry. If I could play as someone from this year, I'd want to play as Jackson He.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's a good answer. That's a great answer.
I'd want to play as Jackson.
Dang, I'm so mad I didn't think of that. Why didn't I put him in the poll? I love him. Okay.
He's awesome. He's so awesome.
Yeah.
Who would you say? Who would you say?
I get where the Jaden Daniels is coming from. Just not to agree with that. I'm gonna go with Brandon Ayuk. I think he's one of the best Sun Devil wide receivers, and I should have put him in the poll too. I was trying to go one from each year, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
He'd be fun to play with, and he's the best Sun Devil wide receiver to come out in the drafts the past few years and in the next coming. I'm sorry, I'll say it. We'll talk about the draft later, but he's the best Sun Devil receiver now and for the next couple years.
There you go. There you go. That's Nicole's take. Ayuk it sounds like better than N'Keal?
Yes, and better than Darby. But like I said, we'll get to that.
Little preview for future shows, just to be clear.
Yeah, like little preview for future shows. A month and a half down the line, but we'll get there.
Of course, transitioning though from a college video game to real life NFL, I got a big game coming this weekend. But before we can even get there, we got to go to some off the field decisions that were made this week. Nicole, is Matthew Stafford still a Detroit Lion, or what happened?
No, this trade was broken at 11 at night or something. Matt Stafford was traded to the Rams. The Lions get Jared Goff in return, a 2021, so this year, third-round pick, and the Rams' next 2 first-round picks in 2022 and 2023, which means that the last time the Rams had a first-round pick was 2016 when they took Jared Goff. So basically the Rams are just kind of throwing it all to veterans, don't need the draft, and they've done well in the later rounds of the draft anyways. But yeah, they haven't had a first round pick since 2016, and they won't have one till 2024 at the earliest.
Jesus.
Really, really interesting trade. Kind of makes sense. Matt Stafford was a big part in where, he had to stay in where he wanted to go. Him with McVay sounds dangerous in theory. And I know he's an upgrade over Jared Goff. I just don't know how much. He's not stat Padford. Let's get rid of that. Okay. He's really good at padding his stats in the fourth quarter of games, but that's because they were losing because they were the Lions. Let's get real. So need to have some leeway there. Are the Rams contenders? I feel like by law I have to say yes. I'm not personally putting a bet on them to make the Super Bowl. I think they'll be in the playoffs. I think they'll win the NFC West. But they had more problems than just Jared Goff at quarterback. I'll say that. They had more problems than just Jared Goff was the biggest one, but they had a few more than that. Fix that up.
Can I just send some prayers to Jared Goff? Like,
Poor
you're going from a team that, like, you led to the Super Bowl not that long ago, like 2 years ago. You led them to the Super Bowl. You were living in sunny Southern California. You know, you were the star quarterback of the Los Angeles Rams. Like, you got so much going on in LA. That's the home of the Lakers and the Clippers and the Sparks. Yes, I'm throwing the Sparks in there because they're a really good basketball team. Anyways, and UCLA football and USC, and you went to Cal Berkeley for school. You're a California kid. And then you, like, get a freaking Twitter notification saying that you were traded to Detroit in the middle of February. The Lions, no less. Go talk to maybe Goff. Maybe you need to go talk to Megatron to ask him why he retired kind of young. Let me put it this way. If Megatron had been playing for the Los Angeles Rams, he probably wouldn't have retired young. Okay, I'm sorry, Jared Goff. I feel really bad for you. I know that it's a business.
St. Louis. Sorry, to be fair, I know they would have been St. Louis at the time. I'll throw that out there.
I know they would have.
City.
I know they would have been St. Louis at the time, but, like, I just feel bad for Jared Goff. I really do. Like, he's just the loser that got chucked into the deal. And I know he probably wasn't playing well enough, but God, the NFL is a tough business. All professional sports is tough business. Like, not 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, he was playing in the Super Bowl. He was the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. I don't think he ever could have predicted that this was going to happen within 2 years of all of that occurring. But I digress, of course.
Well, and who's the winner and loser of these trade? Winner Matt Stafford, loser Jared Goff. Like, that's we'll see which team won. That's up for debate. But I mean, I think the Rams definitely upgraded at QB, and the Lions were going to need to change anyway. So this could be a win-win, even if neither team really makes a dent. Although I do believe the Rams will, because they have a lot more going for them. And I don't compare them to the Bears lightly. Well, actually, I do. That's a lie. But the Rams had a lot more going for them with Jared Goff and upgrading at QB than the Bears do. And that's primarily coaching, because Sean McVay is a better coach than Matt Nagy by a lot. And it wasn't like, which risky to me, it's yes, him, but also play calling. Sean McVay is, he's been figured out, but he's still a genius head coach. Him with Stafford could be dangerous.
Him with Stafford could be extremely dangerous. And just to kind of sum up the whole who won the trade, Goff or Stafford, who won the trade, Detroit or Los Angeles? Where would you rather go?
Exactly.
Exactly. That's it right there, folks. That's it right there. Of course, moving on from, well, one NFL trade situation that's already gone through to another one that a player really, really wants to go through, but it hasn't happened yet. And, well, the legends of the game aren't too pleased with Deshaun Watson's behavior right now, as Watson is trying to get out of a deal that he signed essentially 1 year ago. He wants out of Houston, and Brett Favre isn't too happy about it at all.
Yeah. Okay, before I go over this, my first response when I saw this is, why do we keep asking Brett Favre things? Why do we keep wanting his opinion? And furthermore, why do we keep posting it? Why do we keep talking about it? But yet here we are. Anyways, so Favre said, as most of you probably heard by now, we make too much money to voice an opinion. And then Dick Vermeil decided to join in on the fun. He was a Super Bowl winning head coach with the greatest show on turf, the St. Louis Rams. Everything we heard about his character coming out of college does not reflect what he's doing now, and that he's disappointed. I can't help but laugh. Are you kidding me? Like, what is this saying about his character, that he wants out of a terrible situation, that he wants out from an owner that he just doesn't want to be with anymore. Stafford wanted out of Detroit, and yeah, sure, he wasn't as vocal about it, and it wasn't as much of a falling out, but he got it, and he also got his way. I won't say the difference, you probably already tell, but, it's different, and for a long time, quarterbacks predominantly white, and I'm not saying they're saying this because Deshaun Watson is black. I do believe Brett Favre would be saying this about anyone. Vermeil, I don't know as much, but Stephen A actually said this. It sounds a lot like, shut up and dribble, shut up and play. And it's like, no, they get opinions. And I know you're big on this because you're on the, this should be a players league. This says nothing about Deshaun Watson's character that we don't already know. No, Deshaun Watson doesn't make too much money to voice an opinion because then owners should just shut up and own. So I think it's funny. I think we should stop asking Brett Favre opinions. And if we do, we should stop posting about them. That's my take. Why are we still asking Brett Favre things, Mr. Hold the franchise hostage?
Nicole, you summed it up so well. Why are we asking? Nobody asked you. Well, in this case, somebody did. And here we are talking about it when we probably shouldn't be, because I don't want to waste my breath on somebody who's trying to remain relevant and is just not anymore. Somebody who probably should have had a more successful NFL career than he did, who was kind of known for
most interceptions in NFL history.
And opening his mouth on the football field, being dramatic, being hard to play with, hard to coach, staying in the league for few years too many. I want to say to Brett Favre, why didn't you shut up and dribble or shut up and play? Because according to your career, you really didn't do that. So why does Deshaun Watson not have the right to say, you know what? I don't really like this job I'm in. I'd like to switch jobs. Because that's essentially what he's doing. If you're a salesman living in Houston, Texas, and you say, you know what, I want to move the fam to California because I want to be near the beach and I want to go surfing and after work and stuff like that. You can go to your company and you can ask for a transfer. Can ask to be traded to another company. Deshaun Watson has every right to do the exact same thing. So no, we will not just shut up and dribble. And no, they're not making too much money for you to scold them after you spent your entire career blaming everybody else for your own problems, Brett Favre. We're done. That's it. End of conversation.
We will, unless it's in humor or irony, we will not be bringing up Brett Favre in the show ever again. And if I forget and we do, run this back. Just show me this clip. You can do that. That's fine. I probably deserve it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's why are they making these comments? Why now? Why about Watson? Who knows? It's silly. It's just silly. He has an opinion about where he wants to play. I don't know how much time we have, but let's go over the Super Bowl real quick because that's kind of a big thing happening on Sunday. Kind of, sort of. The Tampa Bay Bucks versus the Kansas City Chiefs. First history, as we were talking about National Girls and Women in Sports Day. I don't know why I'm like blanking on that. Sarah Thomas will be the first female official at the Super Bowl. She'll be the down judge, which will be really cool. And 6 women will have on-field roles at the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. And the Bucks are the only NFL team with 2 women in full-time coaching positions as assistant coaches. Really cool. Again, more history. They're the first, but they won't be the last.
Certainly. First, but won't be the last. I feel like it's been a little bit delayed at this point that they are the first, but better late than never, I guess. Absolute history being made right there by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Nicole, who do you think is going to win on Sunday?
I mean, you know what I'm going to say. You know what I want. I think the people know what I want. I would like Tom Brady to get his 7th. But Chad Henne could also get his 2nd. So, I mean, I guess it's a win-win for me. No, but two Michigan quarterbacks. Hey, if Mahomes goes down to turf toe again, they have a viable backup option who may be even better. No, I'm just kidding. He's not. Anyways.
Tell that $500 million check that Kansas City is writing to Pat Mahomes over the next decade.
I could only
made the wrong
dream of
choice.
I could only dream of like a 16th amount of that money. Anyways, I like the Bucks. I think the Chiefs are missing two very important offensive linemen, and I think that the Bucks front seven is very impressive, and they showed it against the Packers. Admittedly, a weaker line, but I like the Bucks defense, win the turnover differential, and I think they win. I mean, even if Brady throws a pick, which I personally would bet on. So, okay, hold on. Let's go over this. So there's a bet. Which is more likely? Brady runs a yard or he throws a pick. That's a bet. That is an actual bet. But let me get my pick first. First to 31. I know I said 34, and hypothetically speaking, I'm lowering it. First to 31. Give me the Bucks. Give me Brady giving his 7th. 31-24. 31-27.
For the final score.
Yes.
Okay, the thing about the bet, Brady running a yard versus throwing a pick, I think he would probably throw a pick before he runs a yard. Because I think he knows himself, and I think he would trust himself more to throw something rather than running into open space, just because of how old he is now. But final score wise, I think it's gonna be like 27-21, and I think the Chiefs are gonna pull it out, because I think this game, even if Brady doesn't retire after this year, it's a passing of the torch.
I don't think he will. Yeah.
No, it's passing of the torch, I think, from Brady to Mahomes, which is very poetic. Feels very poetic in 2021, as we're in a new decade now, and 2020 was so hard. So it feels extremely poetic.
Brady says, F your poeticism. Give me my 7th. He doesn't care. I'm sorry. I just had to say it.
Brady don't give no you know what, people. We don't say those words on our radio station, but Brady does not give any you know what about what Gabrielle Ducharme has to say.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying you're not the only one saying it. You know that.
Oh, I know.
Brady's the goat versus like the baby goat. Brady doesn't care. Honey Badger don't care. I know that's Tyrann Mathieu, but Brady don't care.
Brady don't care.
Brady don't care. He's gonna get his 7th.
Well, just to be clear, I don't think Pat Mahomes gives much of a you know what that Brady wants his 7th ring. I think Pat wants his 2nd.
That's fair, right? But he's younger, so.
That's true. He's like 25, I think, or something like that. I don't know. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be exciting. What are you most excited about for watching the Super Bowl?
Oh, that's tough. The NFL is lame, so they won't let the Bucs fire their cannons. At least I don't think so. No fun.
Unless the Bucs just give them a big ol' finger and they fire them off anyways, and then they take the fine of, pennies to the dollar or whatever that they have to pay. They have to pay like $1 million, and the owner is just like writing it and giving it to them like it's giving candy to a freaking baby. Like, let's be real.
But I am most excited to see each QB's response, because this whole week has been about that. Actually, not the QBs, every other player, because this whole week has been about Brady Mahomes, who's going to throw for more, with a little Gronk versus Kelsey mix in there too. Other guys are like, what about us? I'm really interested in the defensive matchup and the turnover differential. Who can create a turnover? Who can do it first? Who can score the most points off of turnovers, if there even are any, and who can play the most clean football? That's what I'm most interested in.
I think I'm going to steer into the Mahomes Brady skid still. I'm interested to see how Mahomes can compare to the greatest of all time. It's going to be a huge test for him as to where he ranks and stuff like that in the throes of everything. So you think the Pats are going to win? I think the Chiefs are going to win, but
you mean the Bucs.
The Bucs. Oh my gosh, I'm so used to saying the Pats.
I know it's
I'm so used to
Brady.
saying
You
the
just see a
Pats.
figure. It's the Pats, whatever.
I'm so used to it. It was like 20 years, and
It's been a year since
no,
he's been
I'm
on the
not.
Bucks, Gabby. Come on, come on.
I
Keep up.
know, I know. And we were just talking about the Bucks cannons like a minute ago. I know that. I slipped up. My vocabulary is not bueno. Anyways, it's going to be an extremely exciting Super Bowl. We're going to, of course, break it all down for you guys next week. Until then, please stay happy, stay healthy, and we're going to see y'all next week after the Super Bowl. Stay home, don't get COVID, and we'll go from there, folks. Until next time, I'm for my co host, Nicole Pinter. I'm Gabby Ducharme. We will see you all again soon, guys.